The Port of San Diego last week approved a $1 billion development called Seaport. It makes way for new hotels, parks, and attractions along the downtown waterfront. Reporter Brad Racino with KPBS media partner inewsource joins us to tell us what we can look for in the coming months. Brad, for people who don't know anything about this development, can you give us an overview?
Sure. Seaport is a massive project that'll take up the bulk of the central Embarcadero. Now, that's the land just south of the USS Midway that's currently home to Seaport Village and Ruoco Park. Seaport will replace what's there with hotels, retail space, parks, a revitalized fishing marina, an aquarium, an observation tower, and a proposed charter school. But we're still several years away from seeing this project break ground.
Now, in your story today, you said there are 4 things the public should watch out for with this proposal. What do you mean exactly?
Well, the Port of San Diego is responsible for overseeing this project, and the last big development that the agency took on, called the North Embarcadero Visionary Plan, turned out to be far different than what the public had wanted. So with that history in mind, I wanted to identify 4 things that have the potential to change the Seaport project from what was just approved.
The first thing being public space?
Right. The main criticism over what happened with the North Embarcadero was that the plan promised acres of parks and open space, but in the end, almost none of it came through. With Seaport, the developer has proposed 75% of the area be kept public, but as history has shown, that can change, so it's something to keep an eye on. The second thing to watch out for is almost inevitable: lawsuits. Local attorney Corey Briggs has already warned of litigation over any future port projects, and there may be others waiting in the wings. When people sue, big plans like this can change.
Now, the third thing you talked about is the commercial fishing industry. What is that all about?
Seaport is making big promises to the local commercial fishermen, including linking together 2 harbors and funding infrastructure improvements. And the fishermen are cautiously optimistic. But they've said publicly that if the developers back out of the deal, they'll withdraw their support, which carries a lot of weight with regulatory agencies that still need to approve this project.
And the last thing is what lies underground?
Yeah, there are several things of concern when it comes to digging near the bay. These include things like finding fault lines and contaminants, but also making sure that anything built on the underlying mud is stable in the event of an earthquake. Whatever the developers find underground in the coming months may end up reshaping how the project is built.
inewsource reporter Brad Racino, thank you so much.